Well, ladies and gents, welcome to CG Reaction, and this is Exploring the SCP Foundation SCP-1000 Bigfoot by the channel The Exploring series. I reacted to last time I reacted to the SCP-3008 IKEA. It's about IKEA store is being one of the SCP case which is in different dimension. I thought it would be interesting because I'm like, a damn furniture shop, is that going to be interesting? But it really was. It was epic. That just tells you even something that feels really redundant, like it's not going to be good. But with great storytelling, it can be awesome. And so far all SCP I've seen have just been incredible. I've just started to explore the world of SCP. I've just reacted to 3, 4, and 2 of them were movies. But still, so far, whatever I've seen has been extraordinary. They are just great at storytelling, and they're just epic to look at. I can just hope one day Netflix or somebody just picks up this and creates a show out of this, because I want to see high budget, high quality with great graphics, a great SCP show like that with great director and writer in it. Alright, let's see SCP-1000 Bigfoot. This feels like, this is the great thing about SCP. They even took all the lore of the real world and created that in an SCP case, because why not? It just makes it more realistic, like Bigfoot. People have seen Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch, whatever you call it. People have reported that they've seen this. So why not make it an SCP? Like, yeah, it's an SCP case because they really do exist. I hope there's an SCP for Loch Ness Monster and things like that. Alright, let's watch this.
SCP-1000 Bigfoot. The grand majority of SCPs contained by the Foundation are utterly unique concepts created by a group of highly creative writers. But every once in a while, one comes along based on an existing myth or story. A number of these fail to gain popularity, but some, such as SCP-1000, provide an interesting enough twist on the story to stick around. The basic folklore behind Bigfoot, or the Sasquatch, is well known to many people, and a bipedal ape creature that evades detection would likely be contained by the Foundation regardless, but SCP-1000 takes things in a very unique direction. SCP-1000 is a Keter-class skip, meaning it is quite difficult to reliably contain. And
Keter? Why is it Keter? Damn, I never thought it would be Keter class. Okay.
The containment
Euclid maybe. Keter? Really? Okay.
Procedures mention constant surveillance on any individuals or organizations that are looking into SCP-1000. More effort is made on the Foundation's part to conceal any information about SCP-1000 than to actually contain the entities themselves. The procedures also mention that no contact with any instance of SCP-1000 is to be done without approval by the project director, and in fact, any interaction whatsoever between SCP-1000 and humans is to be immediately reported to the director. The description, of course, describes the physical appearance of SCP-1000 as you would expect, and also states their intelligence to be equivalent to a common chimpanzee. Apparently, SCP-1000 evolved alongside humans until roughly 10 to 15,000 years ago, when they contracted an anomalous disease that quickly wiped out 95 to 99% of their population. The disease is passed on genetically, but most instances of SCP-1000 that are born in present day are immune to its effects. The disease affects any hominid, notably humans, that views an instance of SCP-1000, directly or indirectly. There is a chance, that varies and increases based on a couple of factors, for the viewer to instantly die due to the permanent stopping of brain functions. This effect rapidly wiped out the population of SCP-1000, and the Foundation believes it possible for the disease to transfer to human carriers, which would lead to an apocalyptic scenario. The description.
Okay, first of all, it's a Keter class, so I'm like, are these intelligent being, super intelligent being that are just dangerous to humanity because somehow they're better than humans since it's Keter class? But they're saying it's like their brain is just like chimpanzees, some virus killed them off. So they're dangerous just because they are gigantic. I thought they would be more of a Euclid than Cataclass. I don't understand that. I thought it would be, the storytelling feels weak to me. I thought it would be more, intelligent being that are more intelligent than human. But somehow, they don't come in front of a human for some reason, but they're intelligent. I thought there would be something like that, but okay.
The description continues to state that the highest populations of SCP-1000 are currently located in the Pacific Northwest of North America and the Himalayas, but there are instances located on every continent. Of course, though
maybe, they have some kind of... I thought they'll be like they're this intelligent being that just, stays undetected because they have some technology to stay undetected from humans when they come close or something. I thought they would go something like that, but okay.
those with level 3 clearance or higher are given a letter from the director, which reveals that almost everything I just told you is a lie.
What?
Most importantly, there is no brain-killing disease, and SCP-1000 are actually as smart as humans are.
Hello.
That second statement is why the report...
I knew it. Because that's better storytelling. You call it a cataclysm and then you're just making them, the brainless chimpanzees. I mean, that doesn't feel more, good story to me.
report is filled with lies, why there's such a big cover-up, and why SCP-1000 is labeled as Keter. SCP-1000 did evolve alongside us, with us operating in the daytime, earning us the title Children of the Sun, and them operating at night, with the title Children of the Night. We were not technological equivalents, however, and SCP-1000 were massively ahead of us. While we hunted and gathered, they developed cities, locomotives, planes, cell phones, atomic bombs, and...
Alright, I was thinking of more technological advance, but not out in open like this, hidden way. This is, if that cities, humans would see it, wouldn't they?
made things in ways we still don't understand. Part of this was due to their massive population growth, and they covered the planet in numbers reaching the tens of billions.
What?
Meanwhile, there were only a few 100,000 of us, and we avoided them when we could. They also made efforts to avoid us, speaking of us in mythological terms, telling their children we would come and eat them if they were bad. Then something happened. Exactly what and why are unclear at this point, but humanity banded together and wiped out SCP-1000 and their civilization, most notably 70% of their population in a single day, the Day of Flowers. As for how, the only hint is that a trickster forest god gave us advanced weaponry and showed us how to use them, but make of that what you will. Our ancestors' reasons for wiping them out are also unknown, but they went further than just killing them. They used SCP-1000's technology to...
Ah, okay. So first I'm like, they have cities? Come on, humans can detect cities. How can they have cities and stay undetected? But he's talking about way, way in the past. And obviously when he first said they are like chimpanzees, I'm like, Cataclass, they are like chimpanzees. This feels really simple. This is bad storytelling. But then obviously, this is what the SCP tells people. In reality, they are, they were intelligent beings, still are, but they were a really intelligent being, and they had massive technology, cities, 10 billion. When he said 10 billion, I'm like, come on, really? Nobody can find yet in that 10 billion, but no, he's talking about the past. So in past, there were 10 billions of them, massive technology, way advanced than ours, and we were just some in thousands. We killed them off, and now there are very few of them around, if there are any.
To drive them mad, restricting the survivors' higher brain functions and leaving them as little more than apes. We also obliterated their cities and their creations, and finally, wiped our own memories of SCP-1000 and what we had done.
Okay.
A few humans retained their memories of what had happened, but most of humanity went back to hunting and gathering, and time ticked on. Now, the real danger is that SCP-1000 are regaining their lost intelligence, and the increase in sightings of them is cause for great concern. Most recently, there was an attempt at communication from an instance of SCP-1000. Roughly translated, it read, "We forgive you. Given choice for now, not forever. Let us back in."
Oh,
It's unlikely that SCP-1000 would so easily forgive the atrocities our ancestors committed, but time will tell.
that was grim.
There are some mentions of the Children of the Night in other places, such as SCP-2932 being an ancient prison for the anomalous created during their time, but largely their story is contained in SCP-1000. It's unknown at this point if SCP-1000 will continue to make their presence more known, or if the Foundation will suppress them. But if they are as vindictive as humanity tends to be, we might have cause for concern.
We wiped out 70% of SCP-1000's population in a single day, the Day of Flowers, the children called it. Supposedly every flower doomed that day while our enemies died in their sleep. Then we hunted the rest down, we wiped them from history and memory, we dissolved their civilization, and we slaughtered most of their species. Just ask yourselves, if they got the chance, what more would they do to us? Damn, so this is heavy, isn't it? So we wiped them out, most of them, and then they became ape-like. We forgot about themselves. We wiped our memory from any of their existence. But now they're regaining their memory and regaining their brain functions. And obviously they are more smarter than us, since they had much better technology way before us. And they are regaining their brain, and sending us basically a threat note. They let us back in. We're just gonna tell you once or something like that. This ended with a really grim note, isn't it? This is awesome. Man, first I thought it's really simplistic, man. They are Yeti, they are just brainless Yeti, nothing more, and they're Keter class. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Keter used to have some, special thing that makes them really, really heavy threat. Otherwise, why are they Keter? But then he goes, this is what they tell to public. Reality is this. So this was awesome, man. Man, every SCP I come across is really deep. I loved it. They just took simple Bigfoot, lore that actual people have. People say Bigfoot is this, Yeti is this, and they just, whoever wrote this just spin it into this damn story that is just too good. Well, people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down if you want me to react to other SCP or any other video. And check out the description or end card or cards for more videos. I'll create a playlist for SCP. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I'll see you next time.